Welcome back to Mean Green Game Day. I'm your host, Ashley Pickle. Once again, I am joined by Eric, Kennedy, and Nick. And now it's time to discuss our outlook on tonight's game for the Mean Green. First, we are going to throw it over to our stat wizard, Brady Keene. Brady, can you give us some information on Rice and how they've looked in their past 3 games?
Yeah, definitely, Ashley. So coming into the season, a lot of people thought Rice might be able to bounce back from an awful defensive year last year that they had, and they might have some more experience, some growth with age. And some people thought they might be able to get into a bowl game, but 3 games into the season, they haven't won a game yet, and their defense looks terrible. But while the defense has been bad, it's actually their offense that's been holding them back. Rice is averaging just 12 points per game right now and 280 yards of offense. The Owls have lost their first 3 games by pretty considerable margins. So if UNT can jump out to a quick lead, they probably won't be able to get back and pull that game within reach. Ashley.
Thank you, Brady. All right, guys, like you just heard from Brady, Rice is in that downhill slope. I mean, they're not going anywhere. They're not doing what they were expected to do. North Texas, on the other hand, this is their time to start really building the momentum for the rest of conference play. I think tonight is 100%, it's a must-win game for them. I think if they want that momentum going in, that they need to win this one. What do you think?
Well, I never like to say anything's a must-win too early in the season. And, I mean, what are we talking about here? We're talking about a team that is probably going to win about maybe, 4 games or so, and we'll get to that later in the show. But so there's not too many games that they're going to win. It's not like we're probably going to be going to a bowl game or anything like that. So the main games that UNT needs to win this year is against, UTSA, UTEP. Those are the 2 schools that you really want to win the game. Those are must-wins. This game against Rice, though you said, I do think this is definitely a winnable game, and I'm actually picking UNT to win this game. But at the same time, this doesn't necessarily make or break their season.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I think it's more of a must-win for Rice than it is for UNT. You're looking at a team that's 0-3 and has already lost a game in conference. These guys are going to come out and play extremely hard. But like Brady said, I think if they get down early, I think if a couple of big plays don't go their way, then they're just going to fold and crumble. And that just might be it for their season.
Yeah, and I think it's a must-win game because I said they're going to win, so they should win, right? And also, given those stats that Brady gave, I mean, honestly, UNT has probably a really good chance, and like you all said, it is a must-win game to start building the momentum.
All right, Stat Wizard is buzzing in over here to my left. Brady, what you got for us?
Yeah, okay, so I just wanted to kind of chime in on the must-win game situation. Seth Luttrell and the Mean Green lost their first game against a Texas opponent when they lost to SMU in the opening week. When you're a new coach like that and you're trying to come in and recruit the state of Texas like Luttrell is, it's really big to win a game against those other Texas schools, especially in Conference USA. I mean, these are the schools UNT is competing with on the recruiting trail. Houston is a huge hotbed for talent. So if UNT can come in and get a win, it's huge for the season, but it's also a big win for recruiting. Ashley?
Right, thank you, Brady. I think it's a must-win mainly for their moral aspect, just their mind game. I think that coming off a 1-11 season, a lot of those guys, we got Kenny Byers, he's a 5th-year senior. We've got Fred Scott, who's a captain, he's a senior. Those guys want to have a successful season mainly, and I think that morally that's what they need. But what do you think UNT has to prepare for going into this game?
Well, Rice likes to throw the ball a lot, so that's definitely what they need to game plan for is their secondary and their coverage. I mean, their secondary first week against SMU really gave up a lot of big plays, so they have to do that again, try and limit the big passing plays. And honestly, just trying to hold the defense, or trying to hold Rice's offense and try and stay off the field if you're the defense.
Yeah, Brady has been on point with everything. Their defense and their offense has been terrible. So I think you look at their film, look what they did wrong and their weaknesses, and you exploit them. Against Western Kentucky, the quarterback threw 517 yards against them. And the Army Knights ran they totaled 414 total yards, and we all know that they run the ball the whole time. Their defense and their offense has just been bad. So you just come out and you play hard and you try and take advantage of any mistake that they make.
Yeah, I think the offense is pretty excited to go from the Florida Gators defense last week to now playing this Rice defense that, as you've mentioned, has been pretty porous. Dating back to last year, they were bad last year. They were hoping to get better, and then this year they've been pretty bad as well. So this offense really needs to get in rhythm. If the offense wants to build confidence, because right now they're probably a little bit down on themselves, so they need to get off to a fast start as well. I mean, they've only scored 7 first quarter points all season. So they need to get out to a faster start on offense, and they should have that opportunity today because that Rice defense is not very good.
Right, and something that I noticed when we were looking at the stat line, Rice, in the past 3 games they've turned the ball over 5 times and they've only forced 1. I think UNT needs to really get it going to where they're ready to get those turnovers and convert on them. You can't just get them. You have to be able to get in that red zone and score, and I think that that's going to be the biggest success to this. All right, well, our guys are leading us into our next and final segment. Coming up after the break, we will be giving you our predictions for all of tonight's big game matches. Up next, we'll be right back.
Why do so many students
That one went
transfer
fast.
to UNT? Because we're transfer friendly. We make transferring easy and support you every step of the way. Let UNT be your bridge to success. Our transfer counselors guide you through the admissions process and help you transfer your college credits. Best of all, they'll show you which courses you need to earn your bachelor's degree. We know flexibility is important, so we offer thousands of classes at convenient times. UNT resources include the Student Money Management Center, the Career Center, and our Transfer Center is dedicated to meeting your specific needs. UNT has been one of America's 100 best college buys for 20 consecutive years. Our Eagle Express tuition plan lets you lock in your academic costs and graduate on time. We offer hundreds of scholarships, including many for transfer students. We offer 220 high-quality degree programs in 12 colleges and schools. Programs in business, biology, the arts, education, and engineering are nationally and internationally recognized. UNT ranks 11th in the nation in the number of students transferring from other universities. Why? Because we're student-focused. Our success is your success. Visit our website and contact a transfer counselor today. Start building your bridge to success at UNT.
UNT is more than 125 years in the making. To find new solutions, we create a new point of view. We know what's possible when creativity, originality, and independent thought converge. We're ranked a Tier 1 research university. We're home to excellence the size of Texas. Define your future at UNT and soar to new heights.
All right, now it's time for everyone's favorite segment. It's time for our predictions of this week's big games. First, we're going to throw it over to Brady to see what his picks are. Brady?
All right, guys, so I've got Washington over Arizona in the first game. I've got Stanford over UCLA. Look for a big game from Christian McCaffrey again. I've got Texas A&M over Arkansas, and then I've got Oklahoma State over Baylor. In our most important game of the night, I do have North Texas over Rice. Guys, I think the key for the North Texas team tonight is going to be Jeffrey Wilson. Jeffrey Wilson did not get to play against Rice last season, and in his first Conference USA game of the year last year, he rushed for 136 yards against Rice. Jeffrey loves to shine on the big stage, so look for him to play well tonight. Ashley?
All right, thank you, Brady. All right, guys, first pick of the night. Washington versus Arizona. I'm going Washington on this one. I think they're just flat out the better team, and anyone they've played, they've really kind of blown them out of the water.
Yeah, you're right. Washington should win this game, but I'm going with this. My upset pick this week, I'm going with the Wildcats. I know. I don't know what's wrong with me. They're at home. I like their running game. Let's see what happens.
Jake Browning is having a quietly underrated, very good season. He's already thrown for 12 touchdowns for the Washington Huskies, and they beat them 49-3 last year. I see the same happening.
You know, and this is the first real test for Washington this season, but I still think they get the job done against Arizona.
All right, what'd you say last week, Eric? Maybe a little screw loose up there or something? Yeah. All right, our number 2 game is Stanford versus UCLA. Again, I'm going Stanford on this one. They're number 7. They're 2-0. They've beat Kansas State and USC. They kind of blew them out of the water too. Those are both fairly decent schools.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with Stanford as well. They're just a better team. They're too well coached. David Shaw, one of the best coaches in college football, and Christian McCaffrey, one of the best players in college football. So I'm going with Stanford.
Exactly. Christian McCaffrey is definitely a man among boys. So, yes, I will go with Stanford over the UCLA Bruins as well.
I'm going to say Stanford as well, and I really don't have anything else to add to what you guys said.
There you go.
All right, third one. We're going down to Jerry World in Arlington on this one. We've got Arkansas versus A&M, and I'm going woo pig suey on this one. I'm pulling the upset. I don't care if I got a screw loose. I like Arkansas over A&M.
You're always going against A&M. A&M did me solid last week. I picked them against Auburn. They did well, so I'm going to stick with A&M this week. It's on a neutral field. I like Trevor Knight. I like the way that A&M defense is playing. I'm going to go with the Aggies.
It's on a neutral field. However, it will be a lot of 12th man members in Dallas tonight. I'm going with A&M as well.
It's a great thing. It's an evening game. That way the sun won't be in the players' eyes at Jerry World. I'd still take A&M over Arkansas.
All right, our fourth game to pick tonight, we've got Okie State versus Baylor, and I'm going to go Baylor on this one. Again, this week, they're just the better team. It's at McLean Stadium. Okie State, I think they're going to have a hard time handling Baylor's explosive offense.
Well, I'm going with Oklahoma State here. Sorry, Kyle Humans. I know you're a resident Baylor fan, but Baylor gets off to slow starts. I think Oklahoma State is a team that's good enough to, if they get a big lead on them early, Baylor probably won't be able to come back on them. So, and I also like Mason Rudolph. Watch out for Mason Rudolph. He's a good player.
Yeah. I'm rolling with Oklahoma State as well. Baylor scored, well, they had 700 total yards on Oklahoma State last year. I'm a big Mike Gundy fan because he's a man and he's 40. And so I don't think that it happens 2 years in a row. I have Oklahoma State beating Baylor.
You know, I'm a little surprised how Baylor has, reacted to all the, off-season shenanigans. I guess what you would. I'm not sure if that's the right word to use.
But
they responded in a fairly good manner this season. I have Baylor again this week against Oklahoma State.
All right, I have a feeling later on in the group message this is going to be a constant battle to see who's winning that. All right, and then our last pick of the night, biggest game in my heart, UNT versus Rice. Again, Mean Green all the way, letting out the Eagles. I think that the Mean Green are ready to light a fire under their butt. I think they're ready to go into this conference play. And like we've said again and again, Rice is not living up to expectations, so let's just push them even further down.
That's right. I think Rice is sort of trekking downward right at a time where UNT might be trekking upward. Like Brady mentioned earlier, Jeffrey Wilson is a stud. Get the ball in his hands. That's really what UNT offensively needs to do. Take the pressure off of Fine, and hopefully that offensive line can protect them a little bit. But it all starts with the running game. I like UNT.
My hometown team or my current college? They're not U of H, so I'll just roll with UNT. Go Mean Green!
Well, I think the defense comes in with a lot of confidence. Even though they did give up a lot of points, they stole a lot of bright spots. I think the offense has a great week of practice. I think UNT takes this one.
All right, well, I can't tell you how much I wanted to pull a Corso and put that helmet on. I got a big dome, though, so I wasn't sure if that was going to fit.
I would love to see it.
But next week, our home game crew will be back out at Apogee Stadium as North Texas takes on Middle Tennessee. Kickoff is at 6 o'clock, and our Mean Green Game Day show starts at 5 o'clock outside Gate 4. If you're at UNT, make sure to come on out and watch that live. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Mean Green Game Day. Thank you for tuning in today, and before we go, us at Mean Green Game Day and everyone at UNT would love to wish Mean Joe Green a very happy 70th birthday, and thank you for all you do for our university, Mean Joe Green. All right, I'm your host, Ashley Pickle. Enjoy the game and have a great night. We'll see you next week.
What is creativity?
The ability to